All right. I'll give it a couple minutes to see if anybody filters in here, and in case I leave it up to explain a large period where I'm saying nothing, and then I'll begin. If no one shows up, I don't fucking care. But if someone shows up, I'm assuming they want to show. Performing like this feels so constructed because obviously I'm imagining an audience, or um, like not literally, but well, seeking to explain what my own thinking. I mean, obviously in person, I think conversation is obviously more effective than that, and I default to that. It's a back and forth. But, it might be interesting to hear someone think things through. Conclusions someone might draw thinking a subject through. And then the conclusion is like, well, it's not even a conclusion. It's like, oh, based on the starting assumptions, this is, this is one way of looking at it. I do actually think the best use of that is just seeing how there can be a myriad of perspectives. It's not to change the person's mind into a new perspective. It's just to show there's a myriad. It's like you can look at the world a different way. gonna change a couple of the posts. I think I do them better. I'd like to write more of a like this style. Like you know, have a book, Sweet Simplicity by James Lowe, and like in the sense, like the energy behind these poems, these songs. I can't read Sanskrit, or I can't remember what. I can't. No, that's a script. I can't remember the original. I think it was more of a common kind of tongue, Prakrit or whatever. Doha Ganama Mahamudra Upadesha. The Doha Treasury of Mahamudra Instructions of Saraha. Saraha. He's a cool guy. Okay, so in the language of India, Doha Ganama Mahamudra Upadesha. I think I said that. Upadesa? I think I said that right. In the language of Tibet. Here we go. Doha Juche Jawa Chak. It's so weird to read this fucking language, man. And I'm reading the Wiley, like, alliterated one. It's also like they changed the rules, apparently, when they're writing it for, like, Sanskrit. Like, for how you... It was just funny to me. In the language of Tibet. Doha Choche Jawa Chak. If you saw what I'm looking at and what I'm saying, like, this is what I'm looking at. Okay? And it's like, Doha, I think, Z. Doha, Z. I think. Che? Ja. Yeah, I know. B-Y-A. Ja. Wa. Why? I don't know. I think it's Wa. I think the next one is, I think, Chak. And then, Ya. Chempoi Mangak. I don't know. Chempoi Mangak? I don't know. I'm never really sure if that I is... Because some people say it like O-I. They'll say like Oi. Like P-O... And, apostrophe I. Is that Poi or Poi? I pay homage to Sri Vajradakini. I pay homage to the great bliss, innate original knowing. The topics of this text are presented in 3 sections. Section 1, showing Mahamudra as it is. This has 3 aspects, A, B, and C. Explaining how it abides. Animate and inanimate. I like these. It's sort of structured. If there was no titles on this, I don't know if there was titles in the original. But if there's no titles in this, it would be just like a bunch of verses. But you get the sections. That's something I thought too with my writing, is that when I broke it up with pictures, it kind of chapterized it. And of course, it's 3 different accounts, so maybe that is that in and of itself. But that's not really the important. That's just a question of structure, which I do think matters when you're publishing a book, or if you're thinking about the reader. People do have to think about that more. It has to be an enjoyable experience, and in its entirety. Anyway, but what interests me is the feeling underlying it. Like you read it and it's like, whoa. So anyway, this has 3 aspects. Showing Mahamudra as it is. This has 3 aspects: A, B, and C. A, explaining how it abides. Animate and inanimate, moving and non-moving, substantial and insubstantial, appearance and emptiness. Everything, without exception, during all time, never deviates from the nature of space. So, like, I'm going to get in everything there. Animate and inanimate, moving and non-moving. Substantial, every way you could, anything. That's total. Although you repeat space, the essence of space has no reality at all. Repeat space, the essence of space has no reality at all. I like that, actually. Although you repeat space, the essence of space has no reality at all. God, I feel the beat in that. Existing, not existing, neither existing nor not existing, or something else that transcends such object. Although you repeat space, the essence of space has no reality at all. I think I could change a beat in that. I don't know, the author might get mad at me. No. Although you repeat space, the essence of space. No, I can't do it. No. Instead, it works the way it is. But I want to make it musical, right? Existing, not existing, neither existing nor not existing, or something else that transcends being any such object. Okay. Space. I like pronouncing the space when I read my stuff. I do the 6 words and I go space. The space mind. This is him. Well, this is the translator James Love, and he's translating Sarah. It's also they keep track, or they have a lineages that keep track of who handed this down, basically, or who kept it. Very like such a it's such a good translating project for people if they want a language that's going to have a ton of literature in it and applicable, in my opinion. The Tibetans, they have so much, and and lots of people who could teach, and very hopefully that grows a bit. There's a lot of scholarly work on other traditions, and like in Western traditions, and there's so much now. So much of it is commentary and adding to, and sometimes in very, unnecessarily, in my opinion. Getting into the. I wanted to make a joke, and then I was trying to explain it. All right. Without even saying the joke. Thus, space, mind, actuality have not the least difference. Space, mind, actuality have not the least difference. Like, where's space, mind, actuality right now? Space, mind, actuality. Right? Like right now. Where's space, mind, actuality? And you go, well, it's not space. I'm sitting on a chair. I can feel the weight. So it's not space. So, well, it is space. It's a feeling in space. You can assume an entire object is solid by tapping on like one point. All that is abstraction, an assumption, an inference. Thus, space mind actually have not the least difference. All names indicating difference are just incidental labeling. They are nothing but meaningless false words. Yeah. All phenomena are one's own mind. Other than one's own mind, there is not even an atom of an entity. Whoever awakens to the primordial non-existence of mind gains the holy vision of the victors of the 3 times. Okay, I feel bad saying this. Oh, I don't feel bad saying this, but I at least hesitated. All names indicating difference from the previous stanza. All names indicating difference are just incidental labeling. They are nothing but meaningless false words. I guess what I'd say with that is that it does set up a dichotomy of true, right? Like, they are nothing but meaningless false words. Maybe to my mind. A word, I guess, is neither true nor false. Right? It's kind of like the thing I have with being, with existence, is that to even talk about existence, like being, is to conceive of non-existence, which by its own definition wouldn't exist. So even to contemplate being is to set up a sort of, it's to set up a false comparison. Right. Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to get a grip on here? Well, I'm not trying to get a grip on. I'm trying to express. I'm definitely not trying to get a grip on being. That does not work out well. Get dragged. Try to get it. Let it go. Let it go. All right. Reality wants to send another bus later on to pick you up. Great. Don't hang on to it. All right. Thus, space, mind, actuality have not the least difference. All names. No viewers showed up. I just been reading this. All names indicating difference are just incidental labeling. Oh, there's a great reader on YouTube, Samaneri Jayasara, and she would read selections of like Padmasambhava and like a lot of other traditions as well. She started doing it because she found that it was useful for her, and like to listen to them later. I do find like sometimes reading over my stuff, I can feel a difference in my energy. They are nothing but meaningless falsehoods. Incidental labeling, yeah. I mean, the point's made in it. But, true false has really become like, the language changes, right? Sounds really the concept of things being true or false has changed. But people will say, our truth, um, stuff like that. They'll be like, it's my truth. And I think it's claiming what in like it's like because the history of that word is very absolute, like religious, right? And then instead of just saying it's my perspective, people are trying to take the weight of that historically very heavy term that had the universal validity and just kind of subtly conflating it with one's perspective. Um, I know I write like that. I point it out too, but it really is difficult. Writing is difficult. That's why I want to do it. That's why I'm trying to go back to music and maybe even learn how to draw. I'm so sick of words. Imagine if you thought like it'd be a very arrogant person to think this, but imagine like you thought you were really good at poetry, so much so that no one could really see how good you really were. Like if you were that good at something, you'd get no satisfaction out of it. There'd be no reason to improve. So it's like to be the absolute best at something is to just be like, it's like there's nothing to do with it. All right. All phenomena are one's own. I mean, that's my perspective, obviously. I have a lot of justifications for being lazy. All phenomena are one's own mind. Other than one's own mind, there's not even an atom of an entity. I like to think of the mind as like a crystal. A lot of people use that too. But that's one like I prefer. Just because it's that the refractive aspect of it. It's like everything is brought in and then like projected. Like if you're thinking of it that way, but it's gonna slow it down or something. But it's not really that, right? Like that's a way of thinking about it chronologically. There is not even an atom of an entity. Whoever awakens to the primordial non-existence of mind gains the holy vision of the victors of the three times. I like the term. I wish he'd use the term Vidyadhara there. Vidyadhara. I think it was Vidyadhara or Rigsin. I just love that term. I love the way it sounds. A lot of Tibetan words just sound really cool to me. It is well named as the casket of Dharma. It is not some other mistaken Dharma, being the primordial innate essence. The thusness of this is not something that can be taught. Being beyond expression, no one can understand it. If there is an owner, there will be possessions. Yet from the beginning there has been no self. So what could it possibly possess? If the mind exists as something, then all phenomena will exist as something. If the mind does not exist, who would be able to know phenomena? And the author of this book has one of the really simple statements that, how do you know the mind's empty? It's 'cause it's always filling. Brilliant. Brilliant, Pith. All right. I love me some Pith. I love that. I like that too as a goal. Pith. It's like how quickly, because how much stuff is just it's elaboration, and that's it's the activity of elaborators, I guess. It's all just incidental labeling. About meaningless false words. Right. But I like Pith. And I remember it easier, because I can't remember a paragraph. Even the general sentiment of it. Because I'm not summarizing it. Maybe I should summarize. Ooh. Alright. Not this one, though. translating a translation. I wonder if this is a translation of a translation. I wonder if he translated the Sanskrit or the Tibetan. A summary of a translation of a translation of an expression of a pointer that can't be expressed. That's a book. That is a book. I have some good titles for books. That's all I need. I have some good titles. I really have some good titles. If there's an owner, like not even cool ones, just ones like, I wish I thought of that. It's like, yeah, they're that good. If there's an owner, there will be possessions. Yet from the beginning, there has been no self. So what could it possibly possess? If the mind exists as something, then all phenomena will exist as something. If the mind does not exist, who would be able to know phenomena? Yeah, fucking banger that. If the mind exists as something, then all phenomena will exist as something. If the mind does not exist, who would be able to know something? Phenomena. I actually like the word thing. I use the word thing a lot. First of all, it's just so used in English, but it was also like a term for a group, and composed of a multitude of members. It was a political, it was a thing, which I like. I like that. I like to use words in multiple connotations. I'll say that. All that appears as mind and phenomena are not found if sought for, and there is no seeker anywhere. Non-existent, they are unborn, unceasing in the three tones. Thus, this does not become something else. It abides as it is, natural, great bliss. Therefore, all appearances of the Dharmakaya, all sentient beings are Buddhas. From the beginning, all composition and karmic activity is the Dharma Dhatu. All identified phenomena are like the horns on a hare. B. Beings are deluded through not awakening to the actual. Alas, the light rays of the unclouded sun are all-pervading. Yet for the blind, darkness is the constant appearance. The innate pervades everything. Yet for the stupefied, thusness is far away. Because beings are not awake to the non-existence of mind, mind itself is strongly bound by their discriminating minds. Just as one can become mad by the influence of demons, and then powerlessly, meaninglessly create suffering, grasped by that great demon of reification and conceptualization, beings create only meaningless suffering. Some of the stupefied are bound up in intellectual classification. They leave the master at home and seek him elsewhere. Some take reflections to be real. Some leave the root and cut the leaves. Whatever they do not notice they are deceived. See how this hermit awakes. Although the childlike are unaware of thusness, I am aware that they have never strayed from the state of thusness. I have seen my beginning and my end. I have seen I. This I alone remains. I look at this alone itself. I look at this alone itself, and this one is not to be seen. I look at this alone itself, and this one is not to be seen. Okay. Without seer or seen, it is inexpressible. Since it is inexpressible, who can understand it? When the original mind is fully available, you will enter the hermit's awakening. A lioness's milk cannot be kept in an ordinary pot. Ooh. Just as in the forest, the roar of a lion makes all the small deer terrified, yet the lion cubs happily run towards it. Teaching this great bliss, unborn from the very beginning, makes the stupefied and mistaken terrified. Yet the fortunate are happy and their body hair vibrates. That's very specific. Yet the fortunate are happy and their body hair vibrates. I should read it. Just really formally, or just like a pamphlet. Just as in the forest, the roar of a lion makes all the small deer terrified, yet the lion cubs happily run towards it. Teaching this great bliss, unborn from the very beginning, makes the stupefied and mistaken terrified. Yet the fortunate are happy and their body hair vibrates. I should read like that. The path of Mahamudra. This is three aspects. A, B, and C. A, view. Being certain through the view. This is three aspects. A1, showing the view as it is. With an unwavering mind. By yourself, look at yourself. When you awaken to your own thusness, even the wavering mind arises as Mahamudra. Conceptual identification self-liberates in the state of great bliss. It's interesting. We have such a scholarly language, or we have such a particularizing language in English, and huge scholarly tradition. So you could be specific about these sorts of states, I think. I gotta learn to read the original. Or not specific, I shouldn't say that, because as it was said previously, all names indicating difference are just incidental labeling. They're nothing but meaningless false words. It makes everything else in here. Wait a second. Wait a second. Why am why is pointing it out? Alright. Happiness and suffering occurring in dreams are unreal while one is awake. Thus, abandoning all hopeful and fearful attitudes, who is there to entertain thoughts of preventing and accomplishing? All the phenomena of samsara and nirvana have no reality when thusness is seen, and so attitudes of hope and fear are ended. So who will strive at rejecting and adopting? Every appearance and sound is like an illusion, a mirage, a reflection, and thus lacks the characteristics of real entities. The one wise to this illusory appearance is the mind itself. Like space, it lacks limit and center, and so who can know it? Yeah, it's a good meditation. You notice that, when you're kind of sitting there and you're noticing your mind, the content. It's like you're watching the content, but it's like looking at the watcher. Where is this? I'm so, caught up in the objects. That's what is this space that all this is playing out in? And it's funny, because, for me at least, that space then fills with stuff. I don't know if that's being up. And you forget that space, or it builds up or something. Where was I? Every appearance and sound is like an illusion, a mirage, or reflection. Okay, so just as the various rivers such as the Ganges will have one taste in the salty ocean, the discriminating mind and all that occurs for it is known to have one taste in the Dharmadhatu. A2, the manner of awakening. Someone may thoroughly search the entire extent of space, yet seeing that it is without limit or center, their search ceases completely. In the same way, if one thoroughly searches for mind and phenomena, not even an atom of essence can be found. Mind that thoroughly searches also cannot be found as something, and thus one sees that there is nothing whatsoever to see. Ooh, I like that. The mind that thoroughly searches also cannot be found as something, and thus one sees that there is nothing whatsoever to see. Yeah, I like that. If you just heard that in isolation, you say, what the fuck? Just one sees that there is nothing whatsoever to see. One sees that is there. Like the way I said it last time. But, you'd be like, what? That's crazy. What does that even fucking mean? Then you read everything that's around it, and you go, oh, yeah. But, you get the banger. Just keep the banger. My energy, my battery saver popped up there. So I had to click, no thanks. Don't save it. No notes. Not straying from this. A3. Not straying from this. Just as a crow flying away from a ship circles in all directions and returns again to it. The desiring mind may chase after thoughts, yet returns to the authentic original mind itself. Not affected by conditions, finished with hopes, the hiding place of fears is destroyed. This is the Vajra mind. Oh, my battery doesn't. Actually, you know what? No, this is a teaser. You should get the book. It's a teaser. Okay, Sweet Simplicity by James Lowe. There's a Dakinis. Yay, dropping flowers on. Hey, wait a second. Yeah, I recommend the book. And maybe I'll read through more of it. I have other ones, too. I think I have a song for the king, too. Different translation. And I really recommend his book, Simply Being. It's a good book. A very good book. Sort of. There's a lot of psychological insight in him too, which means he's able to communicate a lot of things that a lot of other people can't, and he has a practice underlying it, and that's something you really just can't. You can't imitate 50 fucking years of practice, 60. Well, I can. No, I'm saying you can. I'm saying, well, I don't know who's listening to this. Maybe the person listening to this has 50 years. What the fuck's happening to that dog? I'm gonna get mad. They're not very nice, their dog, my neighbors. I don't think they beat him, but they don't talk to him very well. Yeah? Why'd you get a dog? You know? Why'd you get a dog? I don't have any pets, man. Fucking no interest. My girlfriend, we were thinking about getting like some cats and stuff, and like she, like after a couple of days, it was like a really good idea, cause like people show you like the kittens pictures and all. It's like 15 fucking years, man, and we're kind of a more live in the present couple. That's too bad, dude. I love cats. I like watching their energy. They're so relaxed, observant, but they're still capable. Like they're some of the best hunters. Like in terms of percentage, they just look like they're just lazy all the time. Probably because they're a good hunter. They can find food if they fucking need it. I don't know if they can find. I hear the noises. I hear when they're asking for it. Yeah, really good book. And like it's got the guy underneath it has The Flight of the Garuda by Keith Dowman. I just started that. I really love the cover of it. The cover's really nice. You know, this feels like Chinese style of drawing, but I mean they did obviously adopt some of it. I don't know the history of that shit. I like a lot of Dzogchen stuff. It just feels good to me. This is Mahamudra, The Sweet Simplicity. It was very similar. I mean, the goal's all the same, right? The goal's all here. What's the goal? The goal's here. It's right here. Is it a better here? Is it a better present in the future? Can we think about a better present in the future? Of course. I do it all the time. Think about a worse one, too. Summary of the View by Naropa. This guy has some advice for that, though. He has some advice for that. The most pithy. Is it the pithiest? I don't know. I don't know if it's the pithiest. This is a competition. Got there in the few words. Gareb Dorje. I don't know. Well, I think Gareb Dorje is the fastest. It's like what? Yeah, I'll do it. I guess I just say it because I brought it up. Man, encountering this tradition was well, it's very refreshing if you're sitting there studying Western shit and you're just like, it seems like all the same stuff, or like yeah, just the aesthetic gets tired or something. It's a really interesting literary tradition. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. The Sixum Nadek. Sixum Nadek. Hitting the essence in 3 words. The final testament of the first human Dzogchen master, Gareb Dorje. Sanskrit, Prahavajra. And you'll hear some of the stuff that they say. like in like Zogchan and shit, and you're like, you guys believe that stuff? Like it just like from a different perspective, it's like, oh, amazing. And then over time, you're like, oh, yeah, okay. Sixum Nadek. Introducing directly the face of Rigpa in itself? Probably has to be in person, apparently. Of course it would be. Where's your face? Deciding upon one thing and one thing only? Confidence directly in the liberation of rising thoughts. That third one's the one I think I most spend my time in. Confidence that the thoughts will pass. I'm working my way backwards. Maybe I had the other two, but it was so quick I didn't. I decided and then changed my mind. But I did decide upon one thing, at least briefly, right? We're always doing that. Introducing directly the face of Rigpa in itself. Where's your face? Well, I had this experience of my face coming forward or something. That sounds weird, but like, yeah. Or I mean, I had this experience where it's just, and it was a couple of times after that too. But being the first time so stark was just like the kind of the veils dropping. I think before that I got like a. Okay, I shouldn't say the veils dropping. I do. If there's something goes on when I'm talking, I will just completely change direction indifferently and say that's a sign from the universe. I can't know whether it is or isn't, or whether I was going to make a good point or not. I guess it's just fun for me at this point. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I was saying. Doesn't matter. I really like to like Kunje Gyalpo. I started reading Jim Valby's. I have to buy that book too, because otherwise he's gonna fucking hunt. He's gonna hunt me the fuck down. Because I got it off fucking Internet Archive. He used to have a site where he sold it on his own site, but it was like all the editions of the Kunje Gyalpo. And whoa, that was something to encounter. Yeah, so I was saying like my meditation experiences. The first time I was like, it seems so stark, and but I think to me it's like a noticing. It's like a noticing, and you're like, ooh, and there's some space, and then stuff comes back in. I think we're just always it's been said many times. We're always going through that. Just don't notice it. Things happen so fast. Dragging around the past, pulling in the future, just creating some kind of like I don't know, but it's some kind of squiggly interference. To varying degrees between individuals, probably times a day. But I can't know. Can't know what your experience is. Even you could tell me specifically. The funny thing is, even if I was you, I still wouldn't know most of your experience, like, even for a second. That wouldn't make any sense. You're dragging around all your karma, your product of, so it's like someone when they do those thought experiments. Like, what would you how would you be if you were in the 15th century or something? It's like, well, that's a pointless fucking question. So it's like all the things that have made up how I am now are different, or is this like a kid in King Arthur's court kind of situation? These are fucking cool stories. Oh yeah, I'm really a big fan of Dudgeon Rinpoche's writing too, and I became fans of them though because of the impact they had on me. I can't say that someone else going to it to look at it and go, "What is this?" But to me, it was very significant. Good? Is it good or bad? I don't know. I don't know what the alternative was.
You just run into these things in life. Okay, this is because my thing's gonna probably run out soon. Yeah, 1%. Oh, I'm gonna call it then. Check out the special teaching of the Wise and Glorious King by Patrol Rinpoche on Lotsawa House. Try to write that down. Nope. Don't take any notes.